Okay, we're out here at my new, I'm gonna call it a hideout, secret spot, special place, one of them things. It took about 5 minutes to gather up something in my pack and then have my boy drop me off, so here we are. It took about 20 minutes to get in here. I've been here one time before, camped out with a friend. He had to leave me right after dark, so it was an impromptu solo. Anyway, it kind of feels like it used to be an old Indian camp or something at one time. It's got some neat features. I put the tent right there last time, and it was, well, it got below freezing, but it was pretty cool. It was all starlit. And let's see, there's what's left of the fire pit. I don't see that I've left any trash around here or anything that I've forgotten, but there's a nice sitting rock, place to lay your stuff down. It did have a bunch of dirt on top of it, and I cleaned it off a little bit, but that's right. I'm gonna throw my hippie pack there. And there's a rock that I pulled off the side of the bank here that I think I'm gonna make into a chair. It worked pretty good for sitting your butt right here, throwing your feet over and warming by the fire. So maybe I'll expand on that a little bit and maybe gather some firewood up and stash it in here someplace for the next time. So that's what I got. I'll get back with you in a little bit. I know that dog. She follows me everywhere. I was going to give a bag content just to kind of show what I imagine you'd wind up with in your bag if you decide to do a impromptu get out quick type thing. This kind of makes sense to me. So I grabbed my bag. Like I say, it's my old hippie bag I traded a couple arrowheads for to a carny at the fair. Grabbed that bag and it had this notebook in it already. I threw the axe in there. And one of the gloves I threw over the blade because I don't have a sheath for that one. And so, a couple gloves. Then I grabbed that off the counter. I wave multi-tool, a couple bottles of water, and I saw this on the top shelf of the refrigerator, threw that in the bag. Then out of my pockets, I had a lighter, a little Boy Scout knife that I carry, this K-bar, kind of, I've been carrying it for a while. I found it in some old junk, but it, I've never seen a K-bar like this, but it's a nice old knife, flat ground Boy Scout knife. Been around a while. The phone's in the pocket, the keys, got a little pair of scissors, tobacco, wallet, and I had the tweezers and a little diamond file in there. So, and obviously my shirt and a camera case. And I'm going to imagine if I had to get out quick or needed to survive somewhere, that this is a kind of odd stuff you might have if you had that at all. My opinion. I had an extra potato with me last time I was here, and I thought, you know, I'll leave that out here for a pack rat or something to eat, but it's been sitting there, oddly enough, for I think 3 weeks. Maybe it's only 2, but sitting on that rock. And granted, it's been cold, but we've had some warm days. It's actually looking pretty good still. Just sitting there in its all of its glory. I'm wondering how long that thing will sit there. Had some dirt, it'd probably grow. Maybe I should just bury it. That might be the ticket. I'll bury it and see if I can get it to grow. Grow some potatoes up here. What do you think, Daisy? Ridiculous? Yeah, possibly. Sagebrush bark. I'm gonna make something. Okay, I'll start with this. This is that sagebrush bark, the old dried stuff I tore off here just a few minutes ago, and I was going to use it for wrapping the smudge stick, and it totally would work, but I just didn't like the looks of it, and it's not very strong, which really doesn't matter because it's going to get burned anyway. But what I did was I took a sagebrush and made myself a bundle and cut some strips of chokecherry bark and done some wrapping on it. And I don't know if any of you have this feeling about the smell of sagebrush, but for me it just takes me back to when I was a little kid. I love the smell of it. I like to burn these. Some people can't stand it, but I like it. So I make these up periodically and take them home and burn them in the shop or outside when there's something bad smelling out there, or just fill a bowl full of them because they look cool. I've made them out of all kinds of different stuff. Straight up sage I grow back at the house. I use that. It's got a different smell than this sagebrush. Pine needles, spruce, any of the conifer type needles, they have a resinous kind of a awesome smell to them, and so I use that also. But anyway, they're fun to make. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on the whole concept, but if you do, give me a holler. Tell me what you think. I got into the collecting mode here. I found a bunch of shafts. And the guy turned me onto this here last year or year before at the glass butte nap ends. I don't know what it's called, but I do remember he said it was the Idaho State Flower. But this is actually a really large one. It reminds me kind of a elderberry, but it's not. And you can see it's got this kind of a pithy core, super strong. He had a bunch of arrows made up out of it, and I've been going to collect this stuff up and make some, as opposed to some of my better arrows were made out of vine maple I collected down by Ashland. Otherwise I generally use like a red willow and then harden them up real good. But there was some pretty straight ones in here, as you can see, and they didn't all come out of this bush, but just around this corner here. Looks like I don't know, probably close to a dozen. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess I need one more. So I will work on these and I'll throw a video out when I get some of them done.